So, picture this. It's a regular Thursday night. I'm at home, just mindlessly scrolling through my phone, passing the time until dinner. Sarah's not back yet. She texted earlier, said she had some last-minute thing at work. No shocker there. Lately, it feels like there's always some work thing. And it's always in the evening, always when I'm here by myself. But whatever, right? I wasn't dwelling on it too much. I get bored, so I figure I might as well tidy up a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no clean freak or anything. But her side of the bathroom? Man, it's a disaster zone. There are half-empty lotion bottles, makeup scattered all over, just chaos. While I'm organizing her stuff, I accidentally knock over a couple of her things, and that's when I notice it. A pack of birth control pills, tucked behind some old shampoo bottles. I'm just standing there, staring at this pack like it's something from another planet. Here's the deal, Sarah stopped using birth control a year ago. Said she wanted to go all natural, and I wasn't gonna argue with her on that. So, what the hell are these doing here? My brain starts spinning. I'm telling myself there's got to be some reasonable explanation. Maybe they're old. Maybe she just forgot about them. I convince myself it's nothing to stress about. But you know how curiosity works. I pick up the pack, flip it over, and then I freeze. The dates on the pills are fresh, like really fresh. As in, she's been taking them recently. Right then, something shifts inside me. This cold, gnawing feeling creeps into my chest, and my heart starts pounding. And the weird thing is, I don't even know why I'm freaking out so much. It's just a pack of pills, right? But my brain starts connecting the dots I didn't even realize were there. Sarah's late nights, how she's been distant, almost like she's avoiding me. Those times she said she was too tired, too stressed, or just not in the mood. I tried to shake it off, telling myself I'm probably overthinking it. But deep down, I already know. This isn't some harmless mix-up. There's no good reason for her to be hiding this from me. And suddenly, I can't stop thinking about every little thing that hasn't added up over the past few months. I'm still holding the pills when I hear the front door open. Sarah's back. My mind's racing, but I don't say a word. Not yet. I need to play it smart, figure out what's going on before I blow up. So, I put the pills back where I found them, slap on a fake smile, and head downstairs like everything's fine. But it's not. Something's way off, and I'm about to find out just how deep this rabbit hole goes. I can hear her in the kitchen, moving around like it's any other night. She's humming some upbeat tune, one of those songs she always plays when she's in a good mood, or pretending to be, anyway. I walk in, and there she is, her hair still damp from a shower, looking all fresh. But there's something weird about it. She's glowing, almost too much, like she just had the time of her life, not a rough day at the office. I lean against the doorframe, trying to act casual, but the knot in my stomach is getting tighter. "How was your day?" I ask, keeping my voice steady even though inside I'm a mess, battling all these questions I'm not ready to ask. She doesn't even turn to look at me. Just keeps slicing vegetables. "Busy," she says. "Super exhausting. You know how it is." Yeah, I know exactly how it is. I've been living in this lie for who knows how long. I'm watching her closely now, my eyes locked on every little thing she does. Her phone's sitting on the counter, buzzing with notifications, one after the other, lighting up like a Christmas tree. But she's not even checking it. That's strange for her. She's usually glued to that thing like it's a part of her. I push off the doorway and take a step closer. "Your phone's been going off non-stop. Something important?" I ask. She glances at it, then just shrugs like it's nothing. "Probably just work emails," she says lightly. "I'll check later." Her voice is too casual, too light. She goes right back to chopping, not a care in the world. The whole thing feels fake, like she's putting on this act, hoping I'll just roll with it. But I'm not buying it. Not anymore. And those pills upstairs? They're screaming in the back of my mind. I decide to test her, see if she'll trip up on her own lies. "How's that new guy at work? What's his name again? Matt, right?" I toss it out like it's nothing, like I'm not already piecing things together. She's mentioned him before, the new guy who started a few months back. Looking back now, she's brought him up a bit too often. I didn't think much of it then, but now I'm connecting the dots. Her knife pauses mid-slice. For just a split second, I see her fingers tense up, but she quickly recovers. Oh, Matt? Yeah, he's doing fine. Still figuring things out, she says, turning back to the cutting board, a little too fast, a little too smooth. I walk around the counter and lean against it, crossing my arms. You've been working late a lot lately. Is it because of him? Helping him get settled in? I ask, watching her closely, trying to spot any sign of guilt, anything that might give her away. She pauses for just a split second, then goes right back to chopping. Yeah, sort of. There's just a lot going on right now, deadlines and all, she says, repeating herself like if she says it enough, I'll believe it. I nod slowly, but inside my blood's boiling. Sure, I get it. And just like that, she thinks she's in the clear. She even gives a little smile, like she's proud of how smoothly she's dodging this. Like I'm just some clueless idiot. But I'm not staying in the dark anymore. I walk over to the fridge, grab a drink, trying to play it cool, even though my heart's pounding in my chest. I know I'm on the verge of finding out something big, but I have to stay calm. No way I'm confronting her without more to back it up. You got plans tomorrow? I ask, cracking open the can and taking a sip, acting like nothing's up. She has no idea I'm already plotting. Probably another late night at the office, she says, rolling her eyes like she's so fed up with it all. And that's when I make my decision. Tomorrow, I'm going to follow her. One way or another, I'm getting my answers. That night, sleep's out of the question. Every time I close my eyes, all I see are those damn birth control pills and Sarah's face, brushing off every question like I'm a fool. We're lying next to each other in bed, but it feels like there's miles between us. She's out cold, sleeping peacefully, wrapped up in the sheets like she's got nothing to worry about. But I know better now. Morning comes, and I've already made up my mind. I've never been the type to play detective, but when your gut is screaming at you, there's no choice but to listen. Today's the day I find out the truth. Sarah wakes up early, moving around like she's got somewhere important to be. She's in a rush, grabbing her things, barely saying a word to me. Just a quick kiss on the cheek, so casual, so fake, and then she's out the door, off to work. I wait about 10 minutes. My hands are sweating, and my heart's beating so hard, it feels like it's gonna jump out of my chest. Finally, I grab my keys and head out. I'm no expert at tailing someone, so I'm a little nervous she might spot me, but I hang back, keeping a safe distance as I follow her car. She's driving toward downtown, but something's not right. She's not heading in the direction of her office. I keep my distance, watching as she turns into a different part of town, the one filled with trendy cafes and bars. It's not where people go to work, it's where people meet up. She pulls into a parking lot behind one of those sleek, modern buildings, and I park a block away, my hands shaking as I sit there, watching her. Sarah steps out of the car, and she's dressed way too nice for just another day at the office. Tight black skirt, heels, and this blouse I've never seen before. And then I see him, Matt, the new guy from work. He's waiting for her by the entrance, grinning like this is totally normal for them. She walks right up to him, and without a second thought, they hug. But it's not just a casual hug, it's the kind that's way too familiar, the kind you don't share with someone you're just working with. They disappear inside, leaving me sitting there, frozen. My worst fear is playing out right in front of me, but it feels like I'm watching it happen to someone else. I can't move for a few minutes, just staring at the door they went through, trying to make sense of it. But deep down, I already know. The late nights, the distance, the pills, it all makes perfect sense now. I should have seen it coming. I take a deep breath, trying to calm down. Part of me wants to march in there, confront her right on the spot, make a scene in front of everyone. But I don't want it to go down like that. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna make sure she can't lie her way out of this. I grab my phone and snap a few pictures from the car, just enough to get some proof. Then I sit and wait, my eyes glued to the door. It feels like hours, but eventually they come back out. This time, they're laughing, looking way too comfortable with each other. Matt walks her to her car, leans in, and whispers something in her ear that makes her giggle. I can't hear it, but I don't need to, the look on her face says it all. This isn't just some fling at the office. It's been going on for a while. She drives off, heading home like nothing ever happened. I follow her again, my mind racing with 1,000 different thoughts. The second she walks through that door tonight, I'll be waiting for her. And this time, there won't be any pretending. Sarah has no idea what kind of storm she's walking into. I get home before she does, my heart pounding with a mix of fury and cold anticipation. I sit in the living room, lights off, just waiting. It's almost eerie how calm I feel, considering the chaos spinning in my head. But my mind's made up, there's no way out for her now. Not anymore. When I hear her car pull into the driveway, I almost smirk to myself. She's got no clue. I know exactly where she's been, who she's been with, and she's about to walk through that door like nothing's wrong, thinking she's still got me fooled. I can already picture her fake smile, hear that sweet little voice telling me how crazy work was today. The door clicks open, and there she is, right on cue. Hey babe, she says, cheerful as ever. Long day. She tosses her purse on the chair, kicks off her heels like she's exhausted. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there in the dark, watching her. She doesn't even notice me at first, but when she finally does, she freezes, half a smile still stuck on her face. Why are you sitting here in the dark? She asks, her voice a little shaky now. I stand up slowly, flipping on the lamp. The light floods the room, and I can see it, the exact moment she starts to feel nervous. I take my time, not saying a word yet. I want her to feel this, to sit in it for a second. I want her to know something's very, very wrong. Finally, I hold up my phone, the pictures of her and Matt displayed on the screen. I watch her eyes widen, her face going from confusion to panic in an instant. Long day, huh? I say, my voice calm, almost too calm. Tell me, Sarah, what part of your long day involved meeting Matt at a cafe, laughing it up like you don't have a husband at home waiting for you? Her face turns pale. She opens her mouth, then shuts it again, clearly scrambling for an excuse. Well, what are you talking about? She stammers, trying to regain control. It's not what it looks like. I cut her off before she can finish. Oh, so meeting him behind my back, hugging him, spending hours together outside of work, and lying to me every day isn't what it looks like. My voice is getting louder now, the anger I've been holding back coming out in every word. Tell me, Sarah, what the hell am I missing here? She blinks rapidly, caught off guard by how direct I'm being. She steps back, holding her hands up like she's trying to defuse a bomb. Listen, it's not like that, I swear. Matt and we're just friends. I was helping him with a project. That's all it was. I laugh. I actually laugh out loud at the absurdity of it. Friends? Friends? I toss my phone onto the coffee table. You expect me to believe that? I pull the birth control pills out of my pocket, the ones I found in the bathroom. Her eyes go wide again. This time, there's no dodging it. She knows she's cornered. Oh my God! She stammers, stumbling over her words, desperately trying to think of a way out. But there's nothing left. She's out of excuses. What are these for, Sarah? I ask, my voice sharp. You're not taking them for us, that's for damn sure. Her face crumples, and for a second, I think she might actually cry. But then, just as fast, something shifts in her expression. Instead of apologizing, instead of breaking down, she looks up at me with this defiant look, like somehow I'm the one in the wrong. Okay, fine. She snaps. Yes, I've been seeing Matt, but it's not what you think. It's not serious. It's just something that happened. We got close, and I wasn't sure where things were going between us, between you and me. I didn't plan for this to happen. I feel the heat rising in my chest. She's standing there, actually trying to justify it. I can't believe the audacity. So what? You're telling me you were confused about us? I can barely keep my voice steady. You didn't know where things were going? We've been married for 7 years. How much more certainty do you need? She crosses her arms now, defensive, like I'm the one being unreasonable. You don't get it. You've been distant too. You don't notice when I'm upset or when I need something. Matt. He listened to me. He made me feel appreciated. For a moment, I can't even speak. The manipulation is staggering. She's actually trying to turn this whole thing around, make me feel guilty for her cheating. Like this is somehow my fault. Like I'm the one who pushed her into his arms. Don't you dare try to pin this on me, I say, my voice shaking with rage. I've been here, every day, doing everything I can to make this marriage work. You're the one who's been lying. You're the one sneaking around, making excuses, and pretending everything's fine. Don't act like this is about me. She opens her mouth, ready to argue, but I cut her off again. You've been cheating, Sarah. Call it what it is. You betrayed me, and now you're standing here trying to paint me as the bad guy. How the hell do you even live with yourself? For the first time, she looks genuinely shaken. She takes a step back, realizing there's no way out of this now. Not anymore. I can feel the weight of it all crashing down on me, the lies, the betrayal, the months I spent in the dark, believing her. I don't know where we go from here, but one thing's for sure, this marriage, this life we built together, will never be the same again. She stands there, biting her lip, the defiance slowly draining from her face as the silence between us gets heavier. For a moment, I think maybe, just maybe, she's about to drop the act, finally come clean, maybe even show some remorse. But instead, she does what I've come to expect from her. She doubles down. Okay, fine, she says, her voice colder now, almost casual. Yes, I cheated. I won't lie about it anymore. She shrugs like it's no big deal, like she's admitting to forgetting to pick up milk from the store. But you know what? Maybe if you hadn't been so checked out lately, I wouldn't have had to. I feel the blood drain from my face, my jaw tightening as her words hit me like a punch. Had to? She's really standing there trying to justify her cheating as some twisted punishment for me. There's a heavy pause between us, both of us locked in this standoff. She looks me dead in the eye, like she's daring me to lose it. Had to? I repeat, disbelief clear in my voice. That's what you're going with? You're seriously standing here trying to convince me this is my fault? She rolls her eyes, and that's when I lose it, but not in the loud, screaming way. No, it's worse than that. It's a quiet, bitter kind of rage that even scares me a little. I step closer, keeping my voice calm, but there's a sharp edge to it now. I've been here, Sarah. Every damn day, right here. I wasn't the one sneaking around with some guy, taking birth control pills behind your husband's back. I wasn't the one making excuses and hiding things. Don't you dare try to make this about me. Her eyes narrow, and I see that defiant spark come back. She doesn't like being backed into a corner, doesn't like that I'm not letting her wriggle out of this. Oh, please, she snaps. Yeah, you've been here, sure. But you haven't been present. You come home, barely talk to me, always so distracted. It's like you don't even see me anymore. Maybe if you had, things wouldn't have turned out this way. There it is again, her flipping the blame, trying to make me question myself. But this time, I'm not falling for it. I just stare at her, feeling the last bit of love I had for her fade into something dark and cold. It's like I'm seeing her for who she really is, the real Sarah, the one who only cares about herself. You're unbelievable, I say, my voice low. All this time, I've been trying to figure out what I did wrong. Why you've been so distant. I thought maybe it was work, or stress, or something we could fix together. But no, it wasn't me, was it? You were out there screwing around with some guy, and then coming home, looking me in the eye and lying like it was nothing. And now you're standing here, acting like you're the victim? Her lips twist into a sneer, and for the first time, I see something truly ugly in her face. You just don't get it, do you? She says, her voice dripping with venom. Maybe I wouldn't have had to look elsewhere if you weren't such a boring, predictable, safe choice. Nathan? He's exciting. He's fun. He actually made me feel alive again. What do you do? Come home, watch TV, and expect me to be satisfied with that? I take a step back, stunned. Safe? Predictable? Her words bounce around in my head like gunshots, each one cutting deeper than the last. I thought I was building something solid, something real. I thought that's what we both wanted. But apparently, while I was busy trying to build a life for us, she was out chasing cheap thrills with someone else. You know what? I say, my voice hoarse from the anger I'm barely holding back. If that's what you wanted, if all you needed was a thrill, then maybe you should have told me before we got married, before we built this life together, before you decided to throw it all away for some fling. She looks at me, and for a moment, I see something flicker in her eyes. But it's not regret. It's not guilt. No, it's something much worse. It's indifference. She shrugs again, completely unbothered. People change, she says, her tone flat. What can I say? Maybe you're just not enough for me anymore. And there it is. The final blow. Those words hit me like a truck, shattering any last bit of hope I had that maybe, somehow, we could fix this. Not enough. That's what it boils down to for her. I'm not exciting enough, not spontaneous enough, not whatever it is she's chasing. She's willing to throw away everything we've built over the years just because she got bored. I stand there, numb, watching her as she casually grabs her purse from the chair and slings it over her shoulder like this is just another normal Tuesday night. Where are you going? I ask, my voice eerily calm. She glances back at me, wearing that same dismissive smile she's had since this whole thing started. Out. I need some space to think. Maybe you should do the same. And with that, she walks out the door. No apology. No remorse. Nothing. The door shuts behind her, and suddenly the silence is deafening. I'm standing there in the living room, staring at the empty space she just left, trying to make sense of how the hell it all came to this. My hands are trembling, fists clenched so hard my knuckles are white. Her words, boring, predictable, not enough, play on a loop in my head, each one hitting harder than the last. I should be furious. I should be pacing the floor, yelling, throwing something, anything. But instead, all I feel is this cold emptiness spreading through my chest. It's like the shock has numbed me, leaving me hollow. How the hell did we get here? I sink into the couch, feeling the weight of everything crash down on me. 7 years? 7 years together, and now she's out there doing who knows what with Matt, while I've been here, trying to build a life she couldn't care less about. I stare at the birth control pills still sitting on the coffee table, proof of her betrayal, as if I needed any more. My mind's reeling, and then the realization hits me. She walked out. She just left. After everything, after dropping that bombshell, she didn't even try to fix it. She didn't even pretend to care. And that hurts more than anything. I don't know what I expected, maybe a fight or some pathetic attempt at an apology, but not this. Not her shrugging off our entire marriage like it's something she can take or leave whenever she feels like it. I grab my phone. My hands are shaking as I scroll through my messages, my thumb hovering over her number. For a second, I think about calling her, demanding she come back and face this head on. But what would that accomplish? She made it perfectly clear. I wasn't enough for her, and she's not coming back. Instead, I do something I never thought I'd do. I scroll to Mike's name, my best friend, and hit dial. He picks up after a few rings, his voice cheerful, completely unaware of the chaos that just tore my life apart. Yo man, what's up? Haven't heard from you in a bit. I swallow hard, trying to steady my voice. Mike, I need to talk. Can you come over? I can hear the crack in my voice, and he picks up on it right away. What's going on? You okay? His tone shifts, concern creeping in. No, I'm not. My throat tightens. Emily, she... I can't get the words out. How do you even explain something like this? How do you tell your best friend that the woman you thought you'd spend your life with has been screwing someone else behind your back? I'm on my way, Mike says quickly, no questions asked. I hear the jingle of his car keys in the background. Give me 10 minutes. I hang up and just sit there, my mind blank, waiting. My thoughts keep swinging between two extremes. One moment, I'm furious, imagining how I could tear into Emily, tell her she's thrown away the best thing she ever had. The next moment, I feel this crushing sadness, this overwhelming sense of loss that makes it hard to breathe. How could she do this? How could she look me in the eye for all these months, pretending everything was fine while she was out playing house with someone else? True to his word, Mike shows up in less than 10 minutes, letting himself in without knocking, like he always does. When he walks into the room, he takes one look at me and knows something's seriously wrong. I must look like hell, still in my work clothes, disheveled, pale as a ghost. "Jesus, man," he says, sitting down next to me. "What happened?" I can't even look at him. My voice is flat as I start to explain. "She's been cheating on me, Mike. Emily's been seeing some guy from work. Matt. I found out today." The words feel foreign coming out of my mouth, like I'm hearing them for the first time. Mike doesn't say anything at first. He just stares at me, eyes wide, like he can't believe what he's hearing. Then, slowly, he leans back, running a hand through his hair. "Are you serious? Emily? Man, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that coming." "Neither did I," I mutter, my voice thick with bitterness. "I found her birth control pills. Then I followed her today. I saw her with him." I lean forward, elbows on my knees, my head hanging low as the words pour out. "They were all over each other, laughing, hugging. She didn't even try to hide it." Mike curses under his breath, shaking his head. "That's messed up, man. Seriously messed up." "Yeah," I say, barely above a whisper. "And the worst part? She didn't even try to deny it. She didn't apologize. She blamed me. Said I wasn't enough for her. That I'm too boring. Can you believe that? 7 years together, and that's what I get." Mike's quiet for a moment, his face tight with anger. "Dude, you're not the problem here. Don't let her make you think that. She's the one who screwed up, not you." I nod, but it doesn't feel real. Everything's still a blur, like I'm watching this happen to someone else. "I don't even know what to do next," I admit. "I just feel lost." Mike's silent for a beat, then his voice is firm when he speaks. "You need to make a decision, man. I know this sucks, and it's a lot to process, but you can't stay in limbo. You've got to decide. Are you going to try and fix this? Or are you going to walk away?" The words hit hard. Fix this? How do you fix something that's this broken? And walk away? That feels just as impossible. But maybe that's the point. Nothing about this is going to be easy. I stare at the floor, running through every possible scenario in my mind. But no matter how I twist it, one truth keeps surfacing. Sarah isn't the woman I thought she was. She made her choice when she walked out tonight, and maybe it's time I make mine. Mike stays with me for a few hours, but most of the time we sit in silence. He's never been the type to push me to talk, and I'm grateful for that. My mind's racing, but I can't seem to focus on any one thought for long. The weight of Sarah's betrayal is suffocating, crushing every other feeling. Around midnight, Mike finally stands, clapping a hand on my shoulder. "Look, man, I'm here if you need me, but you've got to face this head on. Sarah's gonna come back, and you need to figure out what you want. Whatever you decide, just know you don't deserve this crap." I nod, but it's robotic. I'm stuck in this space between rage and sadness, and I can't even tell what I'm feeling anymore. I watch Mike walk out the door, closing it softly behind him. That's when it hits me, the silence in the house is deafening. This place, the home we built together, feels like a prison now. Every piece of furniture, every photo, every reminder of our life together, it all feels like a cruel joke. It's like the ghost of what we had is haunting me, mocking me with what's been ripped away. And then I hear it, her car. Sarah's back. I stand, muscles tense, like my body knows what's coming even if my mind hasn't caught up yet. She walks in, keys jangling, her face blank. No guilt. No shame. Just that same indifferent look she gave me when she left. It's like nothing happened, like we're about to have some normal, stupid conversation about dinner plans or the weekend. But not tonight. Tonight, everything's different. She drops her purse on the floor and meets my eyes. For a moment, we just stare at each other. I don't know if she's waiting for me to explode or break down, But I'm not giving her that. I'm not giving her anything. So, she finally says, her tone so casual it makes my blood boil. Did you think about what we talked about? What we talked about. She says it like we had some kind of rational discussion, like she didn't just tear my life apart a few hours ago. The audacity in her voice is unreal, and I can feel the anger rising, threatening to spill over. But I don't let it. I keep it buried, cold, and controlled. I did, I say, my voice steady. Too steady. She notices it too, because her expression falters for a second. Just a second. And? She asks, crossing her arms, that cocky, dismissive attitude still clinging to her like a bad perfume. What do you want to do? What do I want to do? I almost laugh. As if this decision is about picking a restaurant for dinner. As if the destruction of our marriage is just a minor inconvenience. I step closer, looking her dead in the eyes. I want to know why. I say, my voice quiet but firm. I want to know why you thought it was okay to lie to me, to sneak around behind my back. Why you thought Matt was worth more than our marriage. Her face tightens, but she doesn't back down. I told you already, she says, sighing like I'm exhausting her. I needed more. I needed excitement. You've been checked out, and Matt, he was there when you weren't. Excitement. I repeat, my voice sharper now. You threw away everything we built for some thrill? For some guy who gives you attention for a few months? And what then, Sarah? What happens when Matt gets boring? You'll just move on to the next guy who makes you feel alive? She flinches slightly, but then her eyes harden again. You don't get it. I didn't plan this, okay? It just happened. Things like this don't just happen. I snap, the coldness slipping, my anger starting to seep through. You made a choice. You chose to lie. You chose to cheat. You chose to walk out on us. For the first time, I see a flicker of something close to regret in her eyes, but it's too little, too late. She tries to soften her tone. Look, maybe we can work through this. People make mistakes. Maybe we can go to counseling or something. I scoff, shaking my head. Counseling? Counseling doesn't fix betrayal, Sarah. It doesn't erase the fact that you've been lying to me for months. That you looked me in the eye every single day and pretended everything was fine while you were screwing Matt. She steps forward, reaching out, but I back away, shaking my head. I don't want her touching me. I don't want any of this. I made a mistake, okay? She says, her voice cracking slightly. But we've been together for 7 years. You can't just throw that away over one mistake. One mistake? I laugh bitterly. This wasn't a one-time thing. You didn't trip and fall into his arms by accident. You've been lying to me every single day. You've been cheating on me while I was here, trying to build a life for us. You didn't just betray me, Sarah, you shattered the trust we had. And there's no coming back from that. She blinks, her face twisting with frustration, like I'm being unreasonable, like I'm not giving her the chance she thinks she deserves. But I'm done. I'm so done. I'm not staying in this marriage. I say finally, the words heavy but certain. I deserve better than this. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine. For the first time, real fear crosses her face. Wait, she says, her voice cracking for real this time. You're leaving? Just like that? I nod, not even hesitating. Yeah, just like that. You already left, Sarah. You left the moment you decided Matt was worth more than what we had. I'm just making it official. The silence between us is thick, suffocating. She's looking at me, searching for some way to pull me back, but it's over. I see that now, clearer than ever. I turn, grabbing my coat and heading for the door. The weight in my chest lifts a little as I reach for the handle, ready to walk out of the life we built together. It's not the life I thought I'd have, but it's better than living in a lie. Wait! She calls out, her voice desperate now. We can fix this. Please don't do this. But I'm already gone. The night air hits me like a punch, cold and sharp, but out here, it feels cleaner. Clearer. I stand on the front porch for a second, just breathing, the weight of everything inside that house finally starting to lift off my chest. I can still hear Sarah's voice behind the door, muffled, calling my name. But I don't turn back. I can't. I step off the porch and head to my car, my mind buzzing with the finality of what just happened. I left her. After everything, 7 years of marriage, the home we built, the life we planned, I walked out. And it feels surreal, like I'm floating outside of myself, watching my own life collapse from a distance. But with each step I take toward the car, something else stirs underneath the numbness. It's a strange mixture of grief and relief. Grief for what's lost, for the future I thought I had. But there's relief, too. A sense of release, like I'm finally free from the constant questioning, the endless doubt that's been hanging over me for months. No more lies, no more pretending everything's fine. I sit in the car for a moment, gripping the steering wheel, my heart still racing. I don't have a plan. I don't know where I'm going or what comes next. But the one thing I do know is that I can't stay. Not in that house, not with her. There's nothing left there for me. I start the engine, the hum of the car filling the silence. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I pull it out to see Sarah's name lighting up the screen. I don't answer. What's the point? We said everything that needed to be said. And honestly, hearing her voice again might break the fragile sense of control I'm barely holding on to right now. She's already taken enough from me. Instead, I pull out of the driveway, the headlights cutting through the darkness as I drive aimlessly through the empty streets. It's late, way past midnight, and the city feels almost deserted. I'm not sure where I'm headed, but something inside me tells me that anywhere is better than where I just left. My thoughts are a mess, bouncing between anger and sadness. Part of me still can't believe this is real. Sarah, the woman I thought I knew better than anyone, turned out to be a stranger. How could she do this? How could she look me in the eye, day after day, and lie so easily? It's like every memory we shared has been poisoned. Everything feels tainted now. Every smile, every laugh, every touch. It's all a lie. But as I drive, something else starts to settle in. Something quieter. Calmer. I realize this isn't just about Sarah anymore. It's about me. It's about the man I was becoming in that marriage, the one who was too scared to face the truth. The one who was willing to settle for less because he thought that's what love was supposed to look like. I pull into a 24-hour diner, its neon sign buzzing in the night, and park the car. I sit there for a minute, staring at the flickering lights, thinking about how everything went so wrong. But for the first time, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm not beating myself up, wondering what I could have done differently or where I might have screwed up. Because the truth is, none of this was on me. I wasn't perfect, nobody is, but I sure as hell didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve to be treated like an afterthought, like some option she could pick up or drop whenever she felt like it. Inside the diner, I find a booth in the corner. The smell of coffee and fried food fills the air. It's quiet, just a few people scattered around, the kind of place where nobody cares why you're there. A waitress comes over, and I order a coffee, though I'm not even sure I'll drink it. I just need to sit, to think, to breathe. As I stare out the window at the dark, empty street, it hits me, this is the first step towards something new. It's not the life I wanted, but maybe it's the life I need right now. Maybe walking away is the only way to really find myself again. My phone buzzes again. I glance at the screen. Another call from Sarah, followed by a string of texts, please pick up. I'm sorry. Let's talk. I didn't mean what I said earlier. I look at the messages, but all I feel is a cold sense of finality. There's nothing left to talk about. Whatever she says now, whatever excuses or apologies she tries to throw at me, it doesn't matter. I'm done. I block her number. It's a clean break, and while it feels like ripping off a bandage, painful, it's necessary. I need to start healing, and I can't do that with her voice still trying to twist the story, still trying to make this into something it's not. I take a sip of the coffee. It's still too hot, but it wakes me up, pulls me back to the present. I'm here. I made it out. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm in control of my life again. There's a long road ahead, and I have no idea where it's going to lead me, but at least now I'm on my own terms. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, It's that sometimes walking away is the bravest thing you can do. You can't save what's already broken, and you can't hold on to someone who doesn't respect you. I deserve better than the lies, the betrayal, the half-hearted excuses. I deserve someone who chooses me, who doesn't need to be convinced that I'm enough. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe it'll be messy. Maybe it'll be painful. But at least it'll be mine. I pay for the coffee, leave a tip on the table, and step out into the night. The city lights blur around me, but for the first time in months, I feel a strange sense of peace, like I'm finally free from the weight of everything I thought I had to carry. As I get into my car and drive away, I know one thing for sure. I'm done looking back.